It's called the Walt Disney Company, but it might as well be called Bob Iger's company these days. He's throwing shade at one of Disney's favorite attractions, Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, I know, we call it Caribbean around here. But folks, shed a tear because Bob Iger's going after the legendary Imagineers and maybe even Walt himself. Hello, folks. Hello, friends. Welcome back yet again. It's your friendly neighborhood TPPers here. Vash Guy and Pro, that's me, talking about all things Disney. And we are here today to talk about Bob Iger. Maybe it was a snafu. Maybe it was a misspoken Freudian slip, Vash. Maybe that's what happened that caused him to take a dip and dump on the poor Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, maybe it was. It's possible. It's very, very strange how this all happened. So, as people know, Bob Iger recently took place in a podcast called "The Rest Is History," I do believe, and there were a lot of things that people were talking about when regarding this specific episode of this podcast right here. But one of the things that really stood out was Bob Iger, the rest of this crew here, going on Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland and commentating on it. And there was something very interesting that was stated at near the end of the journey here. And we want to go ahead and play that for you because I just think it's really profound. A lot of people were talking about this online, but some of you may have missed it. We want to go ahead and bring that forward to you right now. So let's go ahead and hear this particular piece of audio right now.
As we do, folks, click the like button and let's dive in, Vash. Let's hear what you got.
Absolutely.
Sounds so well when you think of how old it is.
Yeah. There's something about it that is rooted in tradition, quaint in a way.
Exactly.
It's not brilliant storytelling, but it's brilliant execution.
Right.
Not brilliant storytelling, but brilliant execution.
Vash, has anyone ever told you that you're quaint? Have you ever, listen, folks, if you have a date and you take them out, first date, right? And you take them out, and let's say that you bring out the bona fides. You tell them all about the things you've done, the places you've been. You get out the credit card, the debit card. You get out your American Express. And I'm talking about it's the elite kind. You get that thing out and you buy them a good meal, okay? A steak dinner. And if they want shrimp with it, fine. Lobster's too far, but shrimp's okay. And they say at the end of the date, Vash, that you're quaint. Uh-oh. It's a hateful thing to say. And Bob Iger takes these guys, finishes the ride that Disney loved. Okay, he wanted this one badly, and they get off the ride, and it's quaint, Vash. It's quaint.
It's quaint. It's quaint, and it's not an example of brilliant storytelling, but brilliant execution. I don't know. Oh, bro, this is one of the most beloved attractions in Disney's history. Again, the last attraction that Walt Disney himself personally worked on. And you're going to be calling it quaint and not brilliant storytelling, which is absolutely bizarre. Look, I get it. I think Mark Davis actually had a quote out there saying that, these attractions that we create aren't necessarily the best storytelling mediums. And so he treated them very differently than maybe telling a story from A to Z or whatever. But I'm fascinated by this. What is an example of brilliant storytelling in an attraction by Bob Iger? Is it Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Pro?
All I can tell you, listen, Vash, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, he loves it, right? They had to sacrifice Splash Mountain to save Disney Plus because they were afraid they're going to get boycotted. So Bob will do and say whatever Bob needs to do. Bob rides some of the greatest attractions that have ever been made, classics that have stood the test of time, and he treats them as if you just handed him a Blockbuster VIP card. Like, oh, what a cute relic. What a nifty little thing. Oh, thank you, pal. Oh, you've got a golden Atari 2600 cartridge. Oh, what a cute. I mean, we can't use this for anything. That's how look at this. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Folks, there are some things that simply don't go away. They don't get old. They're classics. They're revered. If you go to the Louvre and you're not one of those people who wants to do the things at the Louvre that just happened at the Louvre, AKA they stole, you want to go and enjoy it, right? You want to go see the amazing things at the Louvre. When you go to the Louvre, you don't go and go, how quaint. No, just because it's older, it doesn't have to. You know what the problem is, Vash? This was not made in the era of Iger. That's right. Why it's quaint. That's why it's not great storytelling, because Bob didn't do it. Now, Vash, what about the Navi River journey over to Animal Kingdom? You ever been on that thing? Bob Iger was in charge of that thing. What's the story there, Vash? What's the story in it?
Okay. No, you. I think you take a journey down. I don't know, some river in Pandora, and you see a Navi shaman at the end of it. It really doesn't have a story, Pro. That's the very interesting thing. It's very atmospheric.
It's one of the worst rides ever. You know, you want to go see the Blue Lady? You know, okay, me neither. Here's the deal. Okay, Pirates is a great ride. It's got great storytelling. It's immersive. It sets a mood. People have loved it forever. If we give Bob the benefit of the doubt, then we say, you know, what he meant by that was you don't have to have like a great setup with lore and all these, you know, a narration. You just go into a world. You could give him the benefit of the doubt, except then he follows it up with, it's quaint, which is a way of Bob, you know, saying, you know, it's just not, it's not mine. It's really, I mean, I didn't buy this. I don't know.
Exactly. No, I mean that's the thing here, bro. If Bob Iger didn't do it, or if it wasn't part of his, I don't know, era, then it's lesser than. Only the stuff that he actually opened is you know, it can be deemed worthy in Bob Iger's opinion. At least that's how he kind of comes off. And that's the thing, bro. I mean, what do you feel about attractions that just basically tell you the story or are constantly yelling at you for the goal or the mission that you're supposed to have? I don't know. Like,
I mean, like some of those, that's kind of become a meme, isn't it? You got to help us. You got to go with us. And then you just sit in a chair and, you know, stuff happens. You did great. Fantastic job. You saved the day. Really?
Exactly.
I just sat here. Okay, cool. Everybody gets a trophy. Listen, I know it's a meme in theme parks these days. Whatever. People want to go, and they want to go to new worlds, new places, and they want immersive. And a lot of this stuff can be done in virtual reality headsets these days. So when you go beyond what can be done in a headset, and now you have like the sights and the smells, but you've also got, you know, the feeling of depth, and you've got the feeling of cold air, a breeze blowing by you when you go through certain things. If you have the full panorama of sensations, right, to take you into an immersive experience, that sets that stuff apart. And that's why Pirates is actually that's why Haunted Mansion, these rides are great counters to a world that can give you anything all the time on AI, because at least still today, you can't have that experience in a headset. But a lot of the stuff that Bob advocates for, you really kind of could.
That's a good point. That's a really great point right there. I mean, the Imagineers, here's the thing. The Imagineers, the early Imagineers who were responsible for Pirates of the Caribbean, they came from a cinematic background. They understood how to convey a story without telling you anything, without narrating it. I understand there's a narrator for the Haunted Mansion, sure. But for Pirates of the Caribbean, you know, it's all just... Look at this right here. You can tell the story without having a word of narration. It plays in every single language. You understand intimately what actually happened here, and that's part of the greatness of this attraction. So many of the things that would be designed in like video games and movies for decades to come, you know, a lot of that has its origins right here in Pirates of the Caribbean, and I think it's just absolutely phenomenal. These people understood how to tell a story so well, and they were, you know, there were limitations of the medium, especially at that time without that technology, right? They didn't have stuff that came alive as soon as you passed it, let's say on your boat or whatever. They didn't need to. They could do it anyway. And I think you know, Bob Iger, quaint, not a great example of great storytelling. I think of those quotes and I just say, what is your great example? You know, and do you consider today's attractions to be great examples, like Rise of the Resistance, for example, Smuggler's Run, Tiana's Bayou Adventure? Because that's really what in effect, that's what you're saying is great, and especially of the era of Bob Iger. And I don't necessarily think those are great myself.
Let me just tell you, Bob, because I know you're watching right now. Bob, I hope we have not hurt your feelings. That's not the intention. We're not trying to be mean to you, okay? In fact, Bob, I will offer to take you out for a steak dinner, and I will buy the lobster for you, not just the shrimp, okay? So we'll go that far. I will whip out the American Diners Club Express, whatever it is. I will pay for your steak dinner, Bob. You can even have the focaccia, okay? The focaccia bread as an appetizer. But Bob, Bob, when we have that meal, at the end of the meal, I might reveal to you that one day you just might, under the leadership of some new CEO, Josh tomorrow perhaps, will turn you into a robot after you have left this mortal plane. And we hope it's not for another 100 years. But one day, you may be turned into a robot like you have done to Walt. You may become an animatronic inside some sort of Main Street window. And when that happens, and when you break down, Bob, because we all know it eventually will happen, I here on this channel will not play that video in rotation of you breaking down your animatronic self, your visage. I promise not to play that on repeat over and over every pro show and call you quaint. I would never do that. Bob, that's from the heart. All right, folks, from our heart to yours, tell us what you think about Pirates of the Caribbean. Drop a comment down below and let us know. Is it quaint or is it evergreen? Is it classic? Is it something beyond the dated realm of most relics? And folks, we would relish if you can click that like button, share, subscribe, and click it. Stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Until the next time, it's been swell spending time with you. Folks, we leave you with this one. This is That Park Place, where all the news should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.